Previously on MSU Tonight.
Who did this to you? No!
What do you get when you cross a group of aspiring TV writers with a cable access network that abandons them and treats them like trash?
I think we've had enough of your jokes.
You get what you freaking deserve! What do you mean we're pregnant?
What do you mean press the square buttons? They're all square buttons.
I don't give a darn about your TV show or your university.
Tell Joe not to go to work.
But Johnny, I thought you loved me.
Love you? I despise you.
Why does God put friends in our lives? Only to rip them away when we're at our weakest.
Call is coming. I'm inside the phone.
That's not a heartbeat.
It's a bomb!
MSU Tonight has been canceled after only 3 episodes.
We've got plenty of stuff that's sure to excite. We now return to MSU Tonight.
Welcome to the 3rd episode of MSU Tonight this season. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you might even be the reason for your parents' divorce.
I know I was.
Aw, cheer up, Joe. There's no need to be upset. All those alimony checks are nothing compared to the show we've got tonight. Coming up,
We can cover the truth about John F. Kennedy.
we reveal the newest, hippest racial slur that all the kids are using.
And we had Governor Andy Beshear with the hard questions. Can he take the heat?
But before we get all hot and nasty for those sweet, sweet ratings, I think it's time once again for Hot Topics.
Last month was Black History Month. We did have a Civil Rights Spotlight segment, but because of a whole snow week along with terrible planning, we were only able to get one out to the public. Nick will return. Hey Nick, can I say this? Do I have the green light?
Hey man, I wrote it. Go for it.
All right. Nick will return his race car to the nearest African American he comes into contact with. He has failed his people greatly.
The Murray State football team opened their late season to a mostly soggy victory Sunday afternoon when they defeated the UT Martin Skyhawks with a score of 14-10. The game was paused due to a weather delay late into the 3rd quarter and didn't pick back up for over 2 hours. The Skyhawks voted to wait out the rain, with head coach Jason Simpson reportedly saying that they would finish the game come hell or high water. Unfortunately, following the game, one of UT Martin's buses was submerged under 4 feet of heavy rainfall. I'd call that some pretty high water.
Now, taking a glance outside Murray, we have an inside look into the heart of Louisville. This would be none other than the Highlands. The Highlands is located on the southern end of Bardstown Road. It also has the well-known intersection called Eastern Parkway. The Highlands is known for its many walk-in shops and small restaurants. These shops range from high-end clothing to skate shops and vintage stores. The Highlands started out being one of the last places in Louisville to be urbanized, but is now the definition of it. While there are many shops and restaurants, the nightlife is what it's known for. So if you ever plan on visiting Louisville, this is the place for you. You're going to want to stop by.
Well, that sure was a great start to this episode, but if you thought that's all we had in store, you're dead wrong.
Stick around with us after the break for an exclusive, very special, one-of-a-kind interview. Stay tuned.
Closed captioning and other consideration for MSU Tonight provided by Kill It Dead Funeral Home. Your loved ones will stay dead or your money back.
The reviews are in, and MSU Tonight's 39th season is an instant hit.
I'm sorry, Cade. Am I hearing right?
One viewer writes, "This looks awesome," and calls it hilarious. Can't wait to watch more.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you might even get pregnant.
While another says simply, "This is amazing."
Read my lips.
The New York Times raves, "Sorry, but we do not have any interest in reviewing your show at this time."
I don't give a darn about your TV show.
The people have spoken. MSU Tonight is one show that you do not want to miss.
You said it, buddy.
Be sure to tune in to MSU Tonight, Tuesdays at 5, only on MSU TV 11. And be sure to check us out on YouTube if you missed the live broadcast.
We know most of you are watching on YouTube anyway.
MSU Tonight, did it really need a promo? You bet your glass of wine it did.
This one's for you, single folk. Welcome back to MSU Tonight. Folks, it's time for the unprecedented interview you've all been waiting for.
Never before has television been this daring.
Tonight, you'll hear truths that you'll wish had never been spoken, revelations that you'll wish had never been revealed.
What you're about to witness will change your life forever.
In our pursuit of the cold, hard truth, we dug through every nook and cranny and left no stone unturned. We stayed up most nights wondering if we were doing the right thing, but since we're journalists, we remembered that we don't really care about that.
What we found out was so troubling that it made me take a second mortgage on my house. What's even worse is I live on campus.
We only hope that you won't forward us the therapy bills regarding what you're about to see.
You have been warned. Roll the tape.
We're here at the Murray-Calloway County Animal Shelter to interview some very special guests. Before we get started, can we get this guy a mask? Bashir's going to blow his lid. You need to wear a mask. 6 feet. So what's the deal with not liking cats? Is that like a... Wait, what is it, a species thing? Or are you really friends on the side? Or what's the deal with that? So are there 100 more of you? Are you in support of canine suffrage, or are you just a racist? Oh, I see. He's just a racist. Oh, he pooped.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So why should somebody pick you? Oh, really? We've also brought some nice treats for all the good boys and girls here in the K9 section, but you don't have to be a dog to enjoy them. It's gonna be good. You don't gotta be a dog to enjoy dog treats. You just have to be stupid. Oh, you want some more head scratching, huh? I can provide that. I'm not a... Hey, I'll come down here. Oh, I made the dog pee. That dog's peeing now because of me. Give me 5. Slap me some skin. Oh, come here. Come here. What do you think about the shelter, Preston?
It's a shelter.
They got plenty of fine, good boys and girls here?
Yes, they do. Lots of good boys.
And if you weren't a college student, if you weren't a college student, would you consider adopting one of these lovely little people to take home with you?
I would adopt all of them.
Hey, you can adopt all of them too if you come on down to the Murray-Calloway County Animal Shelter. Isaac, what do you think about all these little creatures?
I love dogs, but I do know that lots of them are lonely. I can just tell.
I don't know about you, but the scene here is absolutely adorable, okay? Now, sure, we may be joking around and asking these dogs questions that we would be asking normal people, but you can make a real difference by coming down to the Murray-Calloway County Animal Shelter and adopting one of these lovely animals. But we're not done yet. We're also going to be talking to a cat. Now we're entering the more quiet sector of the animal shelter, the cat room, and, well, I hate to make a bad pun, but it seems like everyone here is taking a nice little cat nap, so we're not going to disturb them too much, but we do want to ask a few questions if they're able. It's just a ball of yarn. What is so fascinating about it? Love them or hate them, they got a good point. Do you think Garfield represents the entire cat community? Would you also kick Odie off the table? And what's the deal with not liking birds? I mean, would you root for Sylvester or would you root for Tweety? Do you think that one day dogs and cats could live in harmony? If you could tell the people out there one thing, what would it be? I think that's case enough. Do you think cats should have the right to vote? Well, we've had a lot of fun here with our feline friends, but I think it's time to go back to the dogs. There's one last thing I'd like to do. How's it going, little man? Well, I shouldn't say little. How's it going, Jake? Jacob? Jacoby? Jacarelli? Jakeson? We got an absolutely demolished stuffed animal over here. Now, for the family of the stuffed animal, I'm going to say we do apologize, condolences for your loss here, but these are the gruesome remains of one stuffed animal. In fact, we might not be able to determine the body. We're going to have to get an autopsy on this, and we're going to have to identify the family, get some DNA samples. But, folks, if you go to an animal shelter, please don't bring stuffed animals with you. It's fine to bring some treats, and as you can see, Preston over here is giving our nice new friend Jacob, Jacoby, Jakey Nakey, whatever his name is, giving him some nice treats, but just bring lots of love, compassion, a little bit of money if you want to get one of these animals.
Stuff that people could do for us is, spay and neuter your animals, so that way we don't have a lot of newborn puppies and kittens coming in. That's always a good thing to do. The other thing is that we're always needing cleaning supplies. We use like Dawn dish detergent, we use bleach, we use laundry soap to wash all the bedding and the blankets and towels for the animals.
And with that, folks, we'll send you back to the studio, and we'll have more MSU Tonight coming up after the break. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. MSU Tonight will be right back after these messages.
Put down that homework and pick up your ears.
What in the depths of your ignorance makes you think I care?
Get ready for 30 minutes of action-packed cable access programming.
It's a bomb.
We've got news, interviews, and comedy?
I think we've had enough of your jokes.
It's the perfect way to end your school day.
We'll all get through this one day.
MSU Tonight, Tuesday at 5 on MSU TV 11.
Your chances of getting mugged on campus are very slim, but never zero.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Thanks for sticking around. We now return to MSU Tonight.
Welcome back to MSU Tonight. For our next segment, we ask you to kindly turn off your televisions now if you're squeamish. Come back after this bit for something infinitely more watchable. Thank you. Mankind knows few pleasures as sweet as that of feet. In that varicose vein, we've got some very special footage to share with you as we dip our toes into an exclusive review of Foot Clinic ASMR Feet Care, developed by Dan Schneider and published by Quentin Tarantino for the Google Play Store. The first thing I noticed right off the cuff is the minimalistic polygonal art style. As striking as the design may be, it doesn't capture the complexity of foot anatomy to the degree I'd like. Another key component of the presentation is the soundtrack, which is only one song that loops indefinitely. Despite the limited variety, I can say with the utmost certainty that the main theme put me in the mood for feet. In the pursuit of streamlined gameplay, the narrative has been filed down like a nasty toenail. I assume you play as the infamous Dr. Scholl. The feet-friendly among us will waste no time tapping the start button and dropping into the action. There are a few angles you can approach this from. You can scrape, pick, and chisel your way through calluses and grime until your patient's lovely foot is all better. The blood-pumping first-person perspective and endless variety of patients made me feel like I was the foot doctor running my own foot clinic, a dream come true for any sane human being. The game drives repeat play by offering a variety of unlockable tools as you earn more money, including thorn tweezers, orthosis, leeches, and a fishbowl. Goodness knows I didn't need any encouragement to poke and prod at feet, but I certainly can't complain. The game's impeccable utilization of sight and touch is positively palpable. Unfortunately, the lack of taste and smell totally broke my immersion. I just didn't feel the urge to put the virtual foot in my mouth. The advertisements are this game's Achilles heel. All I wanted more than anything in the world was to tenderly care for utterly rancid feet, only for this game to keep smacking me in the face with needless distractions. Much to my dismay, they didn't advertise any cures for my raging athlete's foot. Even so, if you worship stinky feet as much as I do, there's really no better option out there than Foot Clinic ASMR Feet Care for the Google Play Store. I had the experience of a lifetime, and now I'm very hungry. Next up on MSU Tonight, we've got a message from the President of the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Woo! Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Good evening.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Bet you didn't expect to see me here. It took 32 years, but we finally got another brother in the White House. And yes, COVID still exists, but that don't matter right now. We stay making history, man. I swear. I'm so prepared for this job, I got 3 first ladies. And you bet your ass I'm sharing the presidential bedroom with all 3 of them. Kiki, LaToya, and my big booty white goddess, Abigail. People like me don't usually make it out the streets, man. For real. I remember what it was like growing up in Compton, the projects. Now I live in the best government housing the nation has to offer. But in all seriousness, we got some work to do. A lot of people in this country need help. As always, we gave the white people control and all they did was make themselves richer and told us colored folk to stop being lazy and get a job. Well, I got me a job now, and it's being the leader of your white asses. Yeah, now when I say I live off the government, nobody gonna call me lazy. As I stated earlier, it took a long time for black people to get into this sort of position again. We ain't never forget the first either. Barry, I appreciate you, dog. You're the reason I even got into this politics stuff. Not to mention, your wife is beautiful and strong. But you, Barry, you soft as 4-ply, my dude. You let Republicans run all over you, man. But it's different this time. I ain't Barry. When I say or do something, y'all Republicans gonna sit down, shut your mouths, and mind your damn business. If we got problems, I'ma drag you out the seat, take you behind the building, and whoop your sorry little white ass. We clear? Good. All right. I've talked about back then and now, so we're gonna talk about the future. And no, the actual future, not my boy from Migos. For my first order of business, I've been in talks with our homies from France, La Union for la Fosse or some shit like that. And starting on day 1 of my presidency, we'll be constructing a Hennessy factory right under the White House. The part of the bunker I'm supposed to go in case of emergency, you know, take a right from the East Wing to the, oh, I wasn't supposed to tell y'all that? My bad, G. Whatever, it's fine. Now for my second order of business, weed is legal everywhere. Any of my homeboys and sugar mamas in the clink for weed possession needs to be let out immediately. Immediately. Hashtag free Odell. My third order of business. Oh, that's all the time I have? Shit, okay. All right, America, let's do this. Your boy in the house. I'm gonna make y'all proud. Nigga, we made it.
Man, I haven't seen a show that exciting since Janet Jackson slipped up at the Super Bowl.
If only our audience understood that joke. Kids, ask your parents about Janet Jackson.
Fun fact, if they don't mention the abuse, they'll probably talk about the Super Bowl.
Speaking of abuse, I've had about enough of this show for one night. Why don't we wrap this up, Cade? Let's wrap it up.
No.
Yes.
No. Well, folks, it's been fun, but we can only annoy you so much before you vow not to watch us again next week.
Speaking of which, we hope you tune in to next week's episode of MSU Tonight at 5 p.m. on MSU TV 11.
That's channel 26-3 for those of you watching on campus or on Spectrum.
And if you miss it live, check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MSU Tonight for the latest episodes and some of our best segments. At least that's what we want you to think.
Lastly, be sure to follow us on Twitter at MSU Tonight for regular updates and behind-the-scenes content each week.
Well, that's all for this episode of MSU Tonight. Be sure to join us next week when we'll have
an airplane pilot who's fighting the urge to take a nosedive,
a lively Scientology sermon from Tom Cruise that definitely won't go wrong,
and many more jokes that we think are clever but go over your dumb little heads.
It's not easy being this funny, you know.
You're right about that, Joe. Well, folks, remember, if the truth hurts, then therapists should be telling you to lie more often. Good night, everybody.